Hello class, Mom says here, signing on. Today we will talk about responsive design. Let's begin. But one of the first questions should be what is responsive web design and what it is. Is it designing your website with the idea that people will be viewing it from multiple screen sizes and different resolutions as well? We want to make sure that our site is going to what we call work under any platform, any browser size, or any orientation. And by orientation, I mean whether you turn your phone up or to the side. And same for the tablet. The most important lesson is that you want to make sure that the user has the power. Don't dictate to them what they can and can't do. What is responsive web design? Responsive web design is about using HTML and CSS to automatically resize, hide, shrink, or enlarge a website to make it look good on all devices, such as desktops, tablets, and phones. What is responsive web design again? Read on your screen. It makes your web page look good on all devices. It uses only HTML and CSS. It is not a program or a JavaScript. When you are designing for a responsive design, web design rather, you should be designing for the best experience for all users. Okay, just like what you see on the screen. Web pages can be viewed on many different devices, like the desktop, the tablet, the phone. You should not leave out information to fit smaller devices, but rather adapt its content to fit any device. That is what we refer to as responsive web design. So let me give you an example. A lot of times when you're looking at a site on a smaller screen, such as your phone, you get a lot less content. And while it's true, their smaller space is not that there should be less things you can do everything. Should you just be laid out a little bit more intelligently? You have to remember that people are doing more and more things on their phone that they've never done before. We often think now about watching videos, but we also have to think about filling our applications or coding. There's going to be a lot of things that we don't even know yet that exist. So we want to be as flexible as possible. The most important thing is never assume and the user won't need access to specifically functionally. I think we've all been there when we're looking at a website on a smaller device and we just can't find the thing that we're looking for. Or even worse, there's these pictures or buttons or different things we can't even move them out of the way with our fingers because the site just won't work for us. So here are some of the concepts that we're going to be considering throughout this topic. Three concepts that we want you to keep in the back of your mind. And we're hoping at the end of the topic, you'll be able to say, yeah, I think I've got that. And the first one is called media queries. And what media queries do is that they can detect the viewport size and other information about the device that the browser is on. The next thing that we're going to want to talk about is the idea of flexible grid-based layout for relative sizing. And relative means depending on how large the screen is, that's how big your grid is going to be as well. And finally, we want to think about flexible images. All these things add up so that when you go to the page, the user doesn't need to waste their time scrolling back and forth or trying to resize things to be able to see everything. We want it to happen really automatically. Alright, so let's check some of the website if they are responsive, just like our school book. Let's take a look what will happen if we're going to resize the windows of this page. Okay, so what do you think just happened? Is our school book are responsive? Is the design responsive? What about our LaSalle website? Let's take a look at it. Let's see how it looks like if it is enlarged, and what happens if we're going to change the size. Is it flexible, or are there parts of the page that cannot be seen or omitted? So what do you think? Is our LaSalle website responsive? Of course it is. As you can see, it is flexible. And that ends our discussion for now. We would just like to define what is a responsive design. Then as we go along with our discussion, we will go beyond to it. This is Mom Says saying, remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. And so that's it. Watch out for more video tutorials. Stay safe and God bless everyone. Thank you for watching. This is Mom Says, signing off.